What major city would you put a Paranormal Activity spinoff in?
I would like to see Katie Goes to Manhattan via boat.
You go home right now. We've had enough boat movies.
That's my pick. Yeah, but 80% of the movie, of course, per tradition, needs to take place on a boat. And then, 10 or so minutes in Manhattan. I don't know how we'd work it in, but
10 or so minutes in Vancouver and 2 minutes in Manhattan.
Sure, whatever the budget allows. I assumed we'd have more of a budget than normal because, it is a Paranormal Activity film. We could probably spend at least...
So correct me if I'm wrong. Are you trying to pitch a Jason Takes Manhattan paranormal parody?
No. Real horror movie.
Because you're wanting it to go on the boat. You want the plot of Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah, just with Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
I think every movie needs a boat. Like, every movie needs to go to space, inevitably. We also need a nautical adventure in every horror franchise.
Let me position this to you.
Please do.
I like the idea of it being in Manhattan or New York, but why don't we do it Predator 2 style?
Okay.
Remember, we can have a team of ghost hunters, a.k.a. Gary Busey's team. We can have a paranormal fight in a meat packing plant. And then at the very end, we get on a paranormal ghost ship and we realize that the ghosts have been here the whole time since like 1864.
Oh, or we realize we're really the ghost, a la an Other situation.
Yeah, okay.
We got a lot going on here. Yeah.
We'll just mash all the plots together.
That's it.
Joyce, help me.
I'm staying out of this one, guys. You're on your own.
Quick button. Where would you put yours?
So I don't think I have a good answer for this. A lot of these Paranormal Activity type movies, they take place in these small little country-ish hick towns. I think I want somewhere that's a little more festive, like maybe New Orleans or New Mexico. Or not New Mexico, sorry.
New Mexico.
Mexico City is what I meant. Same thing, right?
Yeah, pretty close. New Mexico City.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, someplace festive and full of, someplace that has history to it, that you can kind of tie in the paranormal activities to, something back in the 1600s or something like that.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Actually put some historical context to the ghosts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make them a little older.
I'm into that. Well, I would do Paranormal : Mamma Mia, and it's going to take place in Little Italy. And it's just going to be a lot
Doesn't
of
Mamma Mia
Italian...
take place in Greece?
Yeah. Step 1, you're already off the wrong country. 2, Little Italy isn't a city.
Okay.
It's in many cities.
All right, listen up, you ignorant fuck. Okay.
Yeah, no, listen to me. It's not Mamma Mia the musical. It's Mamma Mia. That's the spicy meatball. Get it?
Yeah.
There's
We're
a difference.
getting sued by the Italian Defamation League. So
Definitely.
My spaghetti is haunted.
I thought you were going to say my wife.
No. My spaghetti is haunted. There's a demon in it. Help me.
You think it's Southern? Is that
Luigi.
Yeah, why are you Southern?
Look,
I do declare this Little Italy is a little bit spicy.
Look, I have the vapors. Leave me alone, okay? Anyway, I think it'd be fun. Let's go to Italy and do it and see how that would turn out.
That could be cool. Now, in Italy, would it be haunting like a mob family? Since we're already going to be very offensive, why don't we work in the mob?
I mean, I'm talking about, I want old town Italy, dude. I don't want like mobster Italy.
Old Town Italy.
Yeah. Old cities.
No, tell me what Old Town Italy is, Mark.
I have no comment.
Like a Vatican situation? No, you mean...
Haunt the Vatican. There you go.
There we go. Sure. And
If ever you were
surrounding area.
prepared to deal with it, they should be prepared to deal with it.
What I'm hearing is you want like a Saturday Night Live version of Italy.
Yes, that'd be fine too.
With Jim Belushi as the Pope and...
I want it to be slightly like, is this racist?
Right on the line, like extra strength racist. It's not going to kill you, but it's right
I
there.
want it mild racism.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Garrett, what would you do?
I want my Paranormal Activity with ghosts, blackjack, and hookers. In fact, let's just lose the ghosts and just have blackjack and hookers.
And how much racism?
We're going to Vegas, baby. We're going to Vegas. Because I figure what a cool place.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
There's a lot of activity. Some of it could be paranormal, I think it should be like a Rain Man situation where the person being haunted by the ghost uses the ghost's innate abilities to win big at the casinos because evidently they have like Dustin Hoffman math skills.
I think if we do it in Vegas, though, what I want to see is, when this movie aside, every other paranormal has flashed night 1, night 2, night 3.
Yeah.
I think you should make sure that the characters actually see that come up because when you're inside a casino, there's no lights and you have no idea if it's day or night.
Oh, yeah. There's also no clocks.
So they'll be gambling. There'll be a ghost at the other side of the craps table, and they'll just say night 3 and like, oh shit.
Do you
Oh
think
my
this
God.
movie didn't do that because Japanese folk know how to count better than Americans?
Probably.
Yeah, they didn't have confusion about which night.
They understand
Yeah.
when night and day is. Yeah.
America, we're like, well, I lost track already. It was day, now it's night. What's happening?
Hey, all you creatures from cyberspace. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the GraveTalk podcast. My name is Mark, joined by Joyce, John, and Garrett. Welcome back, Joyce.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
And how's everybody doing today?
Fine.
Excited to have the paranormal activity expert in the house.
Oh, yeah. You got to be here for this. You're the only person in Austin that could help fill in the gaps when we don't know the answers.
Apparently, I'm the only one who likes this movie.
Actually, I did not mind the movie. I just didn't know what was going on.
Explain.
Okay, so in case you don't know, we're watching Paranormal Activity 2, Tokyo Nights.
And that is not a mashup of Fast and Furious' Tokyo Drift where the ghost of Han strips on stage for money a la Boogie Nights.
Watch
That
that,
would be-
movie.
Sign me up, Mark.
Oh, man.
It would be better.
Butts in the seats for that one.
So we watched that movie, and unfortunately, you cannot find this movie anywhere, evidently. So we
Found it.
gathered a copy.
It was at our doorstep, tied
Yes.
up with a bow. Says, please watch.
A ghost left it for us. But unfortunately, that ghost file required a second file that had subtitles because there was no subtitles embedded in it. I could not get that file to work. So I watched a Japanese movie with no subtitles. And as someone who does not speak fluent Japanese, this was rough. So I saw this movie and had no idea what was going on the entire time.
Most of what is said is mostly pointless, except for a few key scenes.
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
It seemed very much like a remake of the first one, but evidently, as you guys, to give you like a little peek behind the curtain, we talked before this podcast starts recording. You guys told me this is supposed to be a sequel.
Well, yeah. That's what the dialogue leads you to believe.
According to a Bloody Disgusting article from 2011, this one was softly released in Japan as a direct sequel tie-in to the first one. Interestingly enough, it came out about a month after the actual part 2. So the actual Paranormal 2 came out October 22nd, and this one came out November 20th in Japan.
Whoa.
Did Japan actually get Paranormal Activity 2, though?
That's a great question.
Or did
I
they just
imagine,
like whitewash this one out of existence?
I'd imagine they'd get it at some point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they got the first one, they're like, hey, I like that. I'm going to make a sequel to it. They get the actual official sequel.
Imagine not seeing the sequel and then just jumping right into 3. You got Paranormal Activity, Tokyo Nights 3. You're like, what is happening? Why are we in the 80s now?
Yeah, this makes no sense. Where's Kyochi? What have you guys been up to before we get into it? Any movies to recommend? Any good horror?
Well, I never watch good horror, but I also never watched... I didn't watch any bad horror this week either, so nothing from me.
Nothing for John. Garrett?
So after Worst in Show, I got to thinking, how much worse could it really be? So I watched a bunch of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. My God.
They are so much better.
There are some real garbage entries, and there are some real amazing entries.
Please clarify which is which.
1, awesome. 2, Number 3, pretty fucking dope. I get what you're saying there, John. Number 4, I enjoyed 4 quite a bit, but the kills in Freddy at this point officially for me jumped the shark.
4
This
is my favorite kill, or second favorite kill.
Which one?
And they turn her into a cockroach.
Oh, that was pretty
That
cool.
terrifies me
But
now.
like, this is where he starts getting really goofy. This is
Yeah.
where he starts getting real kind of like, okay, tone it down, buddy. 5 is the Dream Child. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Terrible movie.
That one I didn't mind too much, except for the fact that Freddy's like makeup looks really like low budget in that one.
Yeah.
That
so
really
far we've
stuck
got
out to me.
5 good, 1 terrible.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say 5 is good. I'd say 5 is kind of eh.
All right, so 4 good ones, 2 terrible ones.
Okay, so far. And then what's next?
New Nightmare.
New Nightmare. Wait, New Nightmare was next?
Well, Freddy 6 was
Freddy
next.
6. That was god awful, as
Yeah.
we all know. Freddy 7 is New Nightmare. Mm-hmm. Okay, New Nightmare I kind of enjoyed, but on a second rewatch, I was like, okay, I'm kind of lukewarm on this. And then I did watch Freddy vs. Jason again because I shit on that movie a lot, and I was like, well, let me revisit it. Maybe I was just too hard on it. I was not too hard on that movie.
I think you were.
It is Garbage Town.
It's super
It is-
fun.
It's very dated, but man, it's,
Which one?
Freddy vs. Jason.
No comment. That movie's good.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's how I feel as well.
Hey, I actually watched some horror movies, you guys. I actually,
All right, we appreciate
I
it.
did
Thank
it.
you very much.
Someone's doing their fucking job
In
around here,
the
except
correct-
watching the movie correctly. We're supposed to be talking about today.
That's it. You watched them in the correct language, so step
Someone's
up.
doing their job just poorly, but correctly.
That's how I go through life, right at the bottom.
Joyce, anything you've seen?
So kind of in the horror genre, we've been watching Lock and Key on Netflix.
Oh, that's based on the comic, right?
It is, yeah, it's a graphic novel. It's got a little bit
Yeah,
of
take that, Mark.
Pleb.
horror element to it, but it's really interesting.
Very cool. Well, John, you read that one too, right? I remember you recommending that book to me like a decade ago.
Oh, if I did, I forgot it.
Lock and Key?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I think you're confusing me with someone else. It does
Are you
not
really
ring a
you?
bell.
Are you a doppelganger?
Have you guys watched Outcast on Showtime?
No, I've never
Based
heard of
off
it.
the comic. It's the Robert Kirkman one. I think it's Robert Kirkman. It's basically about like possession, and it's like got a lot of like horror elements to it. It's a comic that's I think on issue like 30 something, but Showtime did a short series on it. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Was it complete or did they just drop it? Because I have it, I just haven't watched it.
I don't know. I didn't get all the way through it.
They only
just
did the one
because-
season, right?
I think they only did one season.
Okay.
So, but I don't know if they are doing more or what. But the comics are pretty solid, and the 2 episodes I saw of the show were decent.
That's cool.
So I'd recommend that.
Cool.
I'd looking for someone else to watch it and let me know if I should finish it.
Like I said, I own it. It's on my Vudu account, so I'll check it out at some point.
All right, right on.
Strongly recommend. I didn't finish it though.
Pretty sure it's going to be good.
no.
Well, what I saw was good. I mean, I'm not gonna like say like it's bad based off what I don't know.
I watched a Shudder exclusive one called Bliss, and I gotta say, didn't really like it. It's kind of
Based off Miss Bliss from Saved by the Bell. It's what she does after they all graduate.
it's one part driller killer and one part Mandy, but as if somebody said Mandy's really edgy and artsy, and I'm gonna do that, and they did that, and it was kind of just boring. It's basically about a girl who's an artist. She's struggling to complete a painting. That's where I put my driller killer comparison in. And all she does is snort cocaine and drink and fuck around with other random people
Sounds
for
like
an
artists.
I hate to, I fail to see the problem here.
Yeah, it's a documentary then.
hour. It's the way that, yes, it's true life. But just the way it's shot, it's like they're trying to take that Mandy artistic style. I found it a little boring. And then when they reveal what's going on with this character, because she starts seeing things and blood everywhere, and she thinks people are dying, but they're not, or are they? You know, it's really kind of like you don't know what is happening and what's not.
Like an A24 film almost.
It is kind of like that.
Except if they were bad.
Yeah. Anyways, the end reveal, I'm not going to spoil it here, but
John?
I didn't watch this movie. I'm glad Mark suffered through it because it's been on my Shudder queue for a minute now, and I keep going to it, and I'm like, and then I go watch something way shittier on Amazon. But
this is one of those movies that if you follow anybody on Twitter or Facebook horror related, they're like, this movie is amazing, and I'm just like, really? I thought it sucked. So I would like to know your opinion, or anybody else's. Watch it, check it out. Let me know if I'm wrong.
one day I will.
Maybe I'm the problem.
Probably.
Listeners, we leave it up to you.
As with most things in life, you are the problem.
I know. God damn it. Joyce here to bring the real knowledge. The realization that I am garbage. All right, well, let's get going today on Tokyo Nights Paranormal Activity from 2010. So this one has no ratings on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, but the fans have rated it a 31% out of 542 reviews.
That's higher than I thought.
Same. I'm going to put you on the spot and say, how does that compare to the quote-unquote real Paranormal Activity 2?
I have no way of finding out.
Which one was 2?
You have no internet right now?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Well, which was Paranormal Activity 2?
It's the one...
It's the one with the sister
Yeah.
and the brother and the pool.
Yes, and they're in the house, and they live in the house, and a lot of the movie is filmed through their security cameras.
Okay, you guys told me about that one.
And the main thing we learn about in 2 is the ghost hates fucking pool cleaners.
Yes.
If you put a pool cleaner in there, he's taking it out.
To destroy that shit.
The audience have rated the official Paranormal Activity 2 a 48%.
Oh,
So
okay.
14 points higher.
Wow.
Again, we remember these aren't actual grades. This is just the percentage of people that liked it. Right?
Sure.
And is this based off a worldwide aggregate, or is this based off just U.S. users? Because I feel like that would definitely play into some of the rating if it's just U.S. users that vote on Rotten
I think
Tomatoes.
it's anybody. Well, I think anyone who goes to Rotten Tomato. How popular Rotten Tomato is outside of the U.S., I don't know the answer to that. But I've clicked before and been like, wait, this isn't in English. And then I'm lost.
Because I've had people like, oh, it's the Japanese version. And I'm just like, really, dude? Like, so I just wonder like how much of that actually like plays into.
And just so people understand that I do know how to do math, it's actually 17% higher.
I was just going to let that ride, dude. But okay.
There's some nerd out there just like at his keyboard like, ooh, I'm putting Mark on black. Ah,
Dude.
damn it.
Those kind of people already paused the podcast, sent their email, and resumed it.
You think they pause? You don't think they work as they listen?
Oh, they're not going to wait until Mark might correct himself. Then they can't send their email.
We have the best listeners out there.
Truth.
All 2 of them.
No.
Oh, that's not
Damn.
true. We love all, however many of you there are.
5.
You know what?
There's at least 3 of us, so...
Look, I see the listen counts. I know there's a lot more than you out there than 5. So
Yes.
thank you. Thank you for sticking with my terrible voice, Mark's personality, and
just
John's
me and
inability to pick movies that are good off Amazon.
That's a feature.
I like to imagine everyone's here just for our guests and they don't give a shit about us. So, Mark, tell us about this movie, Paranormal Activity 2, Tokyo Nights.
I'm going to need just a moment, please.
Just a moment.
Are you pulling up the back of the direct-to-video VHS?
When I was trying to find the back of the boxes on this, I found one in English and one in German, and I accidentally added the one in German to my notes.
Japa German. That's a very tough language.
Please read the German one.
While we wait for Mark, I want you to know, Garrett, that in the paranormal community, we call this movie Pa.
Oh.
I just made that up. That's a total lie.
I like it.
But this is Pa 2, or Pa TN.
All right.
Patin.
The PA.
The PA, yeah.
Okay. That might get confusing with all those Pennsylvania listeners out there.
That's true. They know, though.
All right.
Context clues.
Like, you come on down to the Wawa, I'll tell you what's up. How about that? That's a little knowledge for all my PA fans out there.
Ooh.
Where you at?
In PA.
So this box art I was able to find on DeviantArt.
Please note that art is a very loose term. I'm looking at it.
No, look, man, this looks legit.
What's on DeviantArt? I mean, not anyone could just post there.
It's true. You got to be a real member.
You have to have an email address, pick a password.
Very tough to get in that door, I'm telling you. I've been a member since 2003.
Ooh.
Maybe sooner.
What's your member number, like 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
6, actually.
6. Damn.
All right, here's what the back of the DVD from DeviantArt says this movie's about.
I don't know.
We're bringing the heat today.
I don't know if I want this to be real or fake more. If it's fake, somebody saw this movie and was like, I need to write something about this.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I looked it over. It sounds legit.
Okay.
So if it's fake, they did a good job anyway.
It's for the portfolio of people who want this gig, like professionally. They have to come in, right? With movies they review, I imagine this is that guy's portfolio.
I'd be really interested to know if this was written and he watched it with the subtitles on or the subtitles off.
Oh, man.
We'll have to judge.
That'd be much cooler.
Okay, here's what we're doing. Time out. Before I read this, Garrett, read your back of the box for this movie.
Read my back. My back of the box is... in Japan. Basically it's just Paranormal Activity 1 with a lady with broken legs. Some stuff happens. There's a dope rice or salt scene.
It's salt.
Yeah. Okay, it's salt. Okay, it's some kind of. It could have been cocaine for all I know. A look, cocaine in the hallway. And then some friends come over, and then one of them has an epileptic fit, and then they leave, and then some dude who's working on his dissertation or something just gets up and walks around his house and has a real existential problem with living. People in Japan have way bigger houses than I thought they did, based off what I knew. Some ghost shit happens. That's my back of the box.
I mean, I might rent that based on that.
Some ghost shit happens. Sign me up.
Seemed accurate.
Yeah. I've watched Amazon movies on less.
That should be Amazon Prime's new slogan. I've watched Amazon movies on less.
All right, so this was submitted. I'm going to give this user credit. It's Deviant Artist Morsoth.
He's got a Doctor Strange Sanctum Sanctorum logo as his icon from the window.
Does that legitimize him a little more?
Big time.
Oh, it just means he's got good taste in Sorcerer Supremes.
Okay. Is it more soft, as in this is more softer than that? What's the guy's name?
Soth. Like moth?
Oh, more soft. Okay.
More soft. M-O-O-R-E or
M-O-R-E? Fucking shit.
Tear this guy's name apart.
Just read the back of the box, Mark.
I'm trying to. All right, here we go. Directed by Toshikazu Nage, this official spin-off from the original Paranormal Activity centers around brother and sister Kiyoshi and Haruko Yamano, who has just returned from a trip in America where she was involved in a car accident that resulted in the death of a young woman.
Wait, she went to America?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Keep going.
Haruka is temporarily disabled and confined to a wheelchair. When strange things happen, Kiyoshi decides to spend his time behind the camera intent on capturing something paranormal in his sister's room.
My description was better.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
They didn't even talk about ghost shit.
Some ghost shit, some rice or salt,
some ghost shit, and some hallway cocaine. What are you going to do?
Hallway cocaine. How much is that compared to normal cocaine?
Don't know. Have no clue.
What did you guys think of Paranormal Activity, Tokyo Night?
I think we said the title a million times so far.
I don't think you have to say the colon.
Correction, Paranormal Activity 2, Tokyo Night.
Oh, it does say 2?
It does.
Okay, I was wondering if they were going all the way with the 2. Interesting.
All the way.
And that's the number 2, not TOO.
Number 2.
Okay, also paranormal. Okay.
Paranormal Activity TOO.
Yeah.
Like look who's talking to?
Yeah.
Oh my god! If the voice of the ghost was Roseanne Barr, this would take on a whole different feel.
I would love ghost narration as he's figuring out, like, who the fuck put salt here?
Why is this in the hall? I'm going to kick it over.
I wish it was rice. That's all I'm saying.
Who keeps closing these goddamn doors?
It's what's her face from the others.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what did you guys think of this movie?
I thought it was boring. And it was pretty much a remake of there's no 2. It's just Paranormal Activity remade. It's the exact same beat for beat as what happens in the first one here, except worse. And I didn't like the lady actor because she just smiled like in all of her scenes. She did not a great job.
She's like, I'm just very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you. You say this one's boring.
Yeah.
And now part 1, which you say this is a remake
I was
of.
about to ask this question.
This removed your biggest problem with part 1, which is...
Mika.
And?
I don't remember. Mika? More
Yeah,
Mika?
no. But you think this one's worse?
Maybe my hatred of Mika is what carries me through part 1. maybe that's why.
You really clutched onto that hate and it got you through.
Yeah.
But to clarify, though, I think the brother is worse than Mika.
Really? You think
Yeah,
so?
he is.
I do.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell what he was saying.
I don't have what he's saying.
You're qualified to make that
based off his decision making. I was just like, I'm not thrilled with what you're doing here. A lot of sitting around and pouting. A lot of like just kind of like.
No, there wasn't that much pouting, really.
It looked like pouting. Okay.
Oh, that's a tough call. I think the brother's much creepier than Mika because he snuck a camera in his sister's room and didn't tell her. That was weird.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't.
To be fair, he didn't point it at her. I mean, that would have been the worst.
Yeah, but it was a pretty wide angle. He didn't know what he was capturing, is all I'm saying. That would have been weird.
And she did ask him to stop, and he kept pushing the issue. Like, no,
did she
let's
ask
keep
him to
doing it.
stop?
Yeah,
Okay,
she did.
Multiple times.
That would have been nice to have known.
Yeah. And he'd be like, no, one more time. And then she'd be like, oh, all right.
Ah, shucks.
You got me. I think maybe the pacing was better in the original, and that might have been it. I think, like...
I'm not going to give you that. The pacing of the first one was terrible.
The times, like, I guess I was just less engaged with these characters. I think it's because I didn't hate Mika. That's what I'm starting to realize. That might be...
So your Mika hatred fueled your enjoyment of Paranormal 1.
I guess
Is that
that's
you're
what it
telling
is.
us right now?
Say you need Mika.
I guess so. Except the best ones don't have Mika, so...
This one has a lot of uninteresting home life of like, oh, I have to take care of you, but I'm a teen who just wants to do his own thing. And like,
Yeah, well, his age was weird because he's working on his dissertation, so he's got to be
Is
in
it really a
college.
dissertation?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a college student. They do say that.
he seemed like he was in high school.
He acted that way, yeah.
Well, to be fair, Asians look young for their age, so he looked like he was 12.
There you go.
Okay.
Heard it
that's
here.
good.
So I asked this question too because he kept complaining about how he had to drop everything to take care of her, and I'm thinking like, well, how much work does he have to do? But apparently, like, there are like 7 flights of stairs in this house, and he had to carry her in her wheelchair like up and down all of these flights of stairs.
I thought they were in a co-op or something because I was like, I know people who've been to Japan and they always complain about how small their
Yeah.
houses and apartments are, and it's like then I look at this place and it's like, oh, evidently they rented a mansion.
I just assumed this was a rich ass family who
had
could
to be.
afford a normal sized 2-story house.
But then where's the parents?
well,
Okay, so let's set that
Oh,
up.
that's right. You
Let's
don't
set that
know.
up. Garrett doesn't know.
Every once in a while, an older man pops up in the scene. That's the dad, and he just shows up to go, I have to go to Singapore, and then disappear for a while.
Yeah, apparently he's so overloaded at work, like he's never home. So that's why the brother's been tasked to take care of the sister.
So that's who that guy was. Okay. I saw the dude pop up and I was like, landlord
Yeah.
maybe looking for rent money. Like maybe these people are squatting. I couldn't figure out. I thought they were in a co-op or something and like they just kind of like had like we all live in this like big ass place.
No, that's their own 3-story house where each floor has like 1 bedroom, I guess.
and like 7 hallways that go in every direction.
So you're saying Japan needs an ADA,
Yeah, actually, this house does for sure.
a JDA, if you will.
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't need an American with disabilities.
It's kind of presumptuous for us to put that A in the beginning there.
Yeah.
So Kiyoshi spends a lot of his time complaining about having to cook and really take care of the sister. And they're like, oh, you're a really good cook. Like they're all sitting down eating.
Yeah.
He's like, I had to learn because no one else was cooking, man. And
So we don't have
oh,
parents.
That's funny. And they just eat. And it's like, I mean, I kind of feel bad for him, but at the same time, like, dude, your sister just got her legs broken.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be a little more caring.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Car accident we'll get to. But you know what I think? You know what I think? the original Paranormal Activity did have way more nighttime scenes, and things actually happened in the nighttime scenes. Here, every time, I think they were like, oh yeah, this movie has it, so we have to have it, but they didn't know what to do with it, and we were literally just watching people sleep.
Yeah, the nighttime, the haunts are a lot more subdued in this movie, and it takes a long time to finally get to where anything interesting starts happening. I would say like last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But you're right, they start recycling.
It felt longer than that, not knowing dialogue.
I'm sure. And they start recycling the same things from the other one. You get the girl standing over the bed, hovering for hours. You get the
still
kid
fucks me up. I don't care. That's still creepy as shit.
The kid gets thrown into the camera just like Mika. I mean, yeah, it is a lot of
the end
recycle.
is spot exactly the same.
Yeah, by the last few minutes, like, I mean, we were, reciting like what's going to happen like before it happened. Yeah, it's exactly like the other movie.
That's what I said. I didn't know. I thought it was a remake.
Yeah, that's exactly why it felt like a remake.
There's really only one scene that I was like, oh shit. And that was whenever they're sitting at the dinner table during one of the 18 dinner scenes. And they start to really get kind of heated and they're arguing, the sister and brother, back and forth. And then the glass just shatters.
Yeah, that was a good
that?
one.
Like, that was like, oh, fuck, and they're all just kind of like, oh my God, what's going on?
And I was like, oh, okay, maybe things will pick up from here. But they quickly toned that back down.
Like, that's too much tension. Ratchet that down to 0.
Pump those brakes here.
I will say this. So watching this as an art film, because I didn't know what was going on, as being said, you're waiting for those moments so much more, not hearing the dialogue. It felt like eons between things happening. So when something happened, I was so excited. I was just like, oh, this is going to be a thing. Oh, and like when he first gets up in the computer, when he's working on it, he sees that like little screen. I thought you were going to see something in the screen. No, he gets up and walks in the room. The radio gets turned on. But like I'm sitting there like on the edge. Like I was so stoked. I was like, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. And they brought nothing.
No.
Like they brought like mild sauce to this fucking taco. I was like, I need spicy.
What do you think they've done differently or uniquely from the other paranormals? Is there any element of this one that leans itself to like any originality that you can see?
I thought the salt thing was kind of original.
That was just the baby powder scene.
Except for the fact the baby powder's there to like, is it coming through? The thing is, it like knocked the pile over and then put the pile back up.
No, he just
He was rewinding the tape.
No, he wasn't building a sandcastle and knocking it down, rebuilding.
The things you don't get without the subtitles.
Your movie's way better, though.
I know.
I thought the ghost was like knocking it over, putting it back up, and knocking it over, and I was like, oh, that's creepy as fuck, dude.
He just stepped in it.
He does it multiple times.
I'll just tell you what that
Never
scene
mind,
is.
take it back.
So he puts the salt there, and once it gets flattened, if you stare really hard at that image, you can see it starting to swirl around a little bit on the floor.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's that whole scene.
I mean, it used a brother and sister instead of a married couple like every other Paranormal
I thought
Activity.
they were married, which I thought was really weird the whole time. I was like, this is the weirdest relationship I've ever seen play out. And I was like, maybe I just don't understand it because I'm not from Japan, but...
Nope, they're brother and sister.
Okay, I was about to say, there's no romance in this relationship at all. I was very concerned for their marriage. I was like, come on, guys.
I think we're just going to have a second podcast where we watch foreign films without subtitles and make Garrett tell us what it is.
John has his quickies. I have my like.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think no, they didn't add anything new.
So the only element that I could come up with really is that we're getting a split screen camera at the same time, right? All the other ones have been multiple cameras, but they kind of switch between. This one is straight down the middle of the screen. So you see both Kiyoshi's and Haruka's room, right? And they're time synced. And that's it.
They didn't really use it for anything, though.
A couple times they did. Like whenever Kiyoshi got locked in his room while she was getting fucked with, like
true.
he couldn't get out. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But they should have really laid into that more,
Yeah.
right? I would have liked to seen multiple hauntings at the same time towards the end, you know?
thought was
I
gonna
didn't
happen.
think that was possible, though. I actually really liked that scene where like he was in his room and he couldn't get out. Because like seeing him panic at the same time was kind of like, oh shit! Like it really ratcheted that for me. But I don't know. I didn't think you could have multiple hauntings at the same time because wasn't it just one ghost?
Yeah, there's only one ghost, guys.
But he's a ghost. Or
What do you expect from your ghost here?
Paranormal shit? Some paranormal activity?
Well, he is providing paranormal activity, but to one person in one room at a time. He's not a multitasking ghost.
I think, though, by the time part 2 came out, there was still enough room to introduce another demon Right. That we hadn't established as deep of a connection with the sisters from 1987. That whole stuff, hadn't been built yet.
Oh, sure. I mean,
it's true, but throughout the entire series, it's built upon the idea of one ghost, and he just kind of travels around. And it's the same idea. This ghost came from America and traveled to Japan.
I go to America.
But by Ghost Dimension, which no one should ever watch, that ghost is doing all kinds of crazy shit. He's haunting a whole house at once.
Through the span of time. Like, he's going through that portal, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like,
what are his power sets?
I agree with you. It wouldn't make sense if they stuck with the same timeline, but this being a spinoff, I feel like they could have been like, oh, it's a Tokyo ghost or something, They could have had like another guy. Hey, I need help. There's two of them in this house.
Also, I'm really interested because Japanese horror has a lot of like spirits and a lot of like paranormal stuff like kind of built into what they do. Do you think there was any problem amongst the Japanese ghosts with an American coming in and basically just like doing their own thing? Do you think they have like a ghost visa? Do you think they have to like get permission?
Maybe that's an upcoming. They did The Ring versus The Grudge. Maybe now it's like The Ring versus The Grudge. I want to know the politics
of the paranormal universe in Japan. That's really what I want to know.
I think it's all based on battle.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, whoever can beat up the other ghost gets to do whatever they want.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
That's how all ghost politics work. It's very
I did
brutal.
think at some point they were going to do the like write stuff on the piece of paper and put it on the doors and things like that, like we see in all the like Japanese horror movies.
That would have been asking a lot.
So
I don't think there was any element of any Japanese horror films in this one. It was like, let's make the American horror movie.
Absolutely.
That's all this is.
that house was beautiful, though. We can admit that, right?
Oh, definitely.
It has some great furniture.
Did anyone see the stained glass skylight in the girl's bedroom?
Yes. But is that serve a purpose for anything?
No, but it was
beautiful.
nice.
Okay.
Yeah, you said beautiful.
Oh, I noticed a lot of things. Yeah.
They have a nice.
That's all I had to do was notice things.
They had a nice like rooftop sitting area. They had a lot going on.
Again, what is this house?
It's a mansion. That guy must be rich. You see how many CRT
he's always
TVs?
in Singapore, evidently. So maybe he's just
He's some kind of businessman. Yeah.
Yeah. They had a bunch of cameras, a bunch of monitors, a bunch of CRT TVs, radios. They were a rich family.
I mean, the girl went to America. The boy was in college. Neither of them had jobs. Yeah, they obviously had to be well off.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
So this is like what would happen if a ghost haunted rich people.
So she went to America.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that where she got, you said that's where she got in the car accident?
Yeah, I mean, we might as well just say what's going on here. So fill us in, John.
While she was in America, she hit Katie as Katie was running out of her house.
From Paranormal
Activity 1. As Katie was running out of her house after killing Mika, the best thing she did in the movie. She gets hit by a car driven by the lady in this film. She dies. The ghostifies itself to her. Katie dies. And the lady in this film breaks both of her legs.
In the car accident.
I want to know if there was any communication between the American team and the Tokyo team, because, I mean, Katie's in part 2. You know what I mean? They're like, we're going to kill off Katie in ours. I'm like, all right, but just so you know, she's still alive over here.
Well, part 2 takes place before part 1.
Until the end. Remember, Katie shows up and steals the baby.
True.
I stole the baby.
Yeah.
But
don't they skew the timeline, though?
Yeah, like the whole first part of part 2, you're correct, is before that, but then it's like 2 weeks later and it shows her go into the house and steal the baby from the crib.
Yeah, she kills the dad.
After she's possessed by the demon.
Maybe that's when, what's her name? I keep saying the lady from this film.
Oh, Haruka?
Maybe that's when Haruka hit Katie after that instead of after part 1.
When she had the baby?
When she had the baby.
What happened to the baby then?
The baby becomes Hunter and goes off and does
the
his
baby
own
survives
shit.
the car accident?
Yeah, the baby is in part 4.
Yeah, and they are like, hey, where's the mom? Maybe that's what happened. I think you can find a way to wedge this in there.
Does Katie ever show up in the sequels after 2
No.
as an adult?
I don't
Not
think
as
so.
an adult.
Yeah.
Only as a child.
So this might work. This might come in after 2, after she steals Hunter.
She walks outside with Hunter. She puts it in the car with the other witches, and they're like, thanks. And then they drive off, and she's like, I'll see you guys in 20 minutes, and then turns around and gets hit by the car.
Sure. That could be it.
Lock that shit.
We just fixed the timeline.
We just cleaned that shit up, Paranormal. You happy?
We're doing your work, Hollywood. Whoa. Question then.
Okay.
Because doesn't the ghost fuck with Hunter in the later movies?
Kind of. He's like, hey, come be my vessel so I can take over the world.
But if the ghost goes with Haruka to Japan, how do the ghosts get back to mess with Hunter in the normal timeline?
Plane ticket.
Or he just,
The slow boat, maybe?
Yeah.
So about.
So
My film is...
he walked on the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, boom.
I can't argue with that.
I mean, Japan, California, he could make that walk.
Well, I mean, just going by your guys' timeline, I mean, I don't know anything about the later Paranormal Activity movies, but like, if he goes to Japan, like, he has to have a reason to come back.
I mean, maybe there's another story. Maybe he transfers himself into another person who then travels back to America.
We're missing a movie.
3
Yes.
is basically the journey.
Exactly,
Paranormal
yes.
Activity, the journey home.
Yeah, on a boat.
There we go, yeah.
Homeward bound. It's going to be a ghost. It's going to be a dog possessed by a demon.
It's Milo and Otis, guys.
We don't.
I would watch that movie.
We don't know what happens to the guy at the end, right? He gets dragged off. Maybe he gets possessed and flies his ass back to America.
That's right.
Maybe. That's a good point. That's a good point. Are there any Japanese dudes in any of the later sequels of Paranormal
Or
Activity
maybe the
movies?
witches come and just summon him back. They're like, where the fuck did you go? Get back here. We're not done with you.
Maybe the marked ones went to Japan and picked up a package.
Maybe none of this really
containing
matters.
the demon.
Yeah, like you brought it up. So now we're going to dive down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Look, I'm
You
just
brought
saying,
us here, damn
with
it.
no context and no real information, I decided to basically delve into it. So let's get out of it quick.
Okay, so the level of hauntings that start occurring, they're really small at first, right? She's like, oh, the wheelchair moved from the side of my bed to across the room.
Yeah.
And then they're like, gotta be a ghost. Time for a camera.
Dude,
and that's like straight out the gate, right?
That would have been much better. Instead, exactly like in the original, the brother has a camera when she comes home and she's like, oh, what's with the camera? He's like, I just bought a new camera and want to film everything. Just like Mika did, almost word for word. It wasn't like, oh, there's ghost shit, we should film it. He was already filming everything because that's what they did in the first movie.
And then we just justified his reasoning for having the camera on at all times. So
Do you think they heard about... Wait, doesn't Katie go out in the middle of the night, though?
Yeah, so she was driving around at like 3
So
in the morning.
Haruka was driving around, so she's still got like that like Japan time, you know?
Maybe.
She's... Okay.
Yeah. So I really thought her not being able to walk would have played a much bigger role in the haunts, but it really doesn't come up at all.
That... I feel like that's grossly underused in a lot of horror movies when you have people in a wheelchair and stuff like that. Like even to a degree in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's terrifying to me. Not to be able to run, to be at the mercy of like how fast this piece of metal can manage a terrain.
Yeah.
Like use that in your movie. Oh my God. Like have her like go to the edge of the stairs and be like debating whether to like roll down them or jump out of it or slide down or, you know, like, but like, do you stay with the haunting stuff or do you risk like more bodily? Like, man, they could have ratcheted that up so
That's
much.
what I thought was going to happen. Annabelle Origins, for all of its many, many flaws, has a great scene about that.
Origin?
Annabelle.
Annabelle. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
almost that exact scene you played out is in Annabelle Origins,
is it?
and it's really good. It's like the only good scene in that otherwise
Okay.
very mediocre movie. But back to this mediocre movie.
right after the wheelchair rolls across the room, they don't actually show that.
No.
It's just Haruka says, oh, by the way. And that's when he gets the idea to put the salt down. It's like, let's see if something's moving around. And then,
Classic Salt.
yeah.
Yeah, he jumps to Ghost from like 0 to 100 immediately.
And maybe that's just the culture.
I think
right?
that's a culture thing.
Okay.
I think that's a culture thing because, like, at least Japanese like movies would have you believe that a lot of people over there are just like full on like, yo, straight up ghosts. Like, this is a thing, bro.
I would have been like, maybe your floorboards are slanted. Like that would have been where I went first.
No,
Like,
immediately demons, guys.
We are haunted AF right now.
They took the carrot method of fuck it.
I'd like to know, like, do you think the demon plans out his haunt schedule ahead of time? All right, day 1, move in the wheelchair just a little bit. Day 10, you know, I'm going to do whatever.
You're talking about there's deleted scenes where he goes up to a calendar and X's
Yeah.
out the days and he's like, can't wait for tomorrow.
That's it.
I think he's working on his dissertation and just forget like, oh shit, I haven't moved anything today, and he like runs back real quick.
He's like whiteboarding this all out. That's how I imagine it.
Are you saying the demons in college? Is
Why not?
that what you're saying?
Why not?
Per Monster University, we know that there is a Monster University.
Oh, good
so,
point.
yeah.
Gotta love that movie.
I would like to think that he's got his planner, and you know, tonight I'm going to move her chair. Tomorrow night I'm going to open her door, and 10 nights from now I'm going to drag her ass out of bed.
How old is this demon? Do we know?
Well, he was in the third movie when they're children, so that's in the 80s. So he's at least mid-30s.
Well, he's had time to perfect this. Then
Yeah.
he knows
At
what
least
he's
in his
doing.
mid-30s.
He knows what he's doing. Then yeah, this is definitely planned out.
Do demons age the same as humans?
I have no idea, but
I would so much prefer that over like, oh, this demon's infinite years old since the Stone Age. Like, no, he's just been a demon for like 30 years. He's very new at this.
he grew up with the girls.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Is that why he starts out so slowly? Because he's still learning how to demon?
He's unsure of he's got a demon professor just shadowing them like that. You move that wheelchair way too far. You stepped in the salt, put it back up. That's Garrett's movie.
Guys, he didn't mean to move the wheelchair, okay? He was trying to like maneuver himself around. He just kind of like accidentally bumped into it. And that's why he left immediately afterwards.
Monsters Inc. type thing, and they're learning how to scare, and this is a simulator, and they're like trying not to knock anything around, but he's actually fucking up, and he keeps knocking into things, and then he loses his temper, and it drags people down the hallway.
This ghost is very incompetent.
I would rather have an Real Monsters movie. That's all I'm going to say.
Dude. How come they haven't remade that? Let's talk about that. That's
a way better program. All right, so they watched the video of the salt, and that's when they set up camera number 2. That's now going to be showing us Haruka.
Salt Bay, like doing the thing. He just sprinkles the salt on the floor.
So after the second camera is set up, I guess at some point he just turns his camera on in his room too, right?
Yes, he does. He sets it down next to his bed.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because he says, weird shit's happening in my room too. So then he puts a camera in his room.
As soon as they set up the multiple camera system, nothing happens. Like they're like, oh, whatever. And that's when the sister Haruka's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Nothing's happening. I think we're fine. And that's where they get into that argument at the table, and then the glass shatters.
Yeah.
And then she's like, all right, you can keep filming. That was weird.
You know what? To go back to why I think this movie might be more boring than Paranormal Activity 2, these arguments, as we're calling them, are more like, I don't want to. Oh, but you should. But I don't want to. All right. They're
not heated.
No.
But I think, again, that's just Japanese culture, right?
And versus, like, there was a lot of friction, and you sort of watched Mika become more and more terrible, and you're like, man, poor Katie. And she reacted like you'd expect someone to react, right? Whereas in this one, they were both very just like, we're being haunted. That's weird. Like, also, they all fell asleep every night, never woke up. I feel like I would not be able to sleep if I were haunted. Like, because they both accepted it immediately. They're like, all right, we're definitely being haunted. All right, good night.
Here's to a good full 8 hours. We'll see you in the morning. Yeah, for real.
We lived in an apartment one time that got fleas because our upstairs neighbor was a garbage person, and like, not a garbage man, but just like a terrible, disgusting person. I was getting like 30 minutes of sleep a night for like 4 nights. I had to stop like going into work on time and get people to give me rides because it was just like I couldn't drive. Like, I was just like so out of it. Like, if I had ghosts, I would never sleep.
No.
I would never sleep. I would not be able to, like, it's 9 p.m. Time to tuck in, you know? It's like, no, I'd be like, well, every light's going to be blazing for the next 5 days.
They had no problem. In fact, I bet they slept better after they were haunted than they did before. They were sleeping through no problem.
We made it.
Yeah, you think you would be huddled in your fucking armchair, like with I don't know what a weapon would be against the paranormal. I'd be grabbing a bat or something,
not
just
nothing.
like waiting.
They're like, all right, good night, good night.
Well,
good
I
night,
was
ghost.
also concerned about that too, because I was like, why is this couple sleeping in separate rooms? What happened in this relationship? I thought there was a backstory that I was like, ooh, something went down with these two.
Again, your film is infinitely better than the one we actually saw.
Because then the wife would have been like, hey, are you gaslighting me, husband? And then the husband would have been like, are you gaslighting? See, such a psychological element to it.
Yeah, if it was American, it was like, stop moving my fucking wheelchair, you dickhead. I know you're in there fucking with me at night, you know?
You'd be like, no, I have this.
I want a divorce!
I have this camera I secretly put in there that shows that I didn't do
Oh, that
it.
would be extra creepy.
He did secretly put the camera. That's how he recorded the salt thing.
Netflix's Paranormal Activity : Marriage Story.
I'd watch that.
So later, at some point, they're going to bring in their friends. Like, a group of people show up to the house, and they're all sitting around. I'm like, who the fuck are these people? I don't care.
No.
That was
They
my
did just show
statement
up
throughout
randomly.
the entire movie.
Yeah, you're right. They did just show up randomly. They were not like, it's not like in the original where they were, I keep saying original because it's what it feels like, where they're like, oh, we got to call in an expert. They're just like, oh, our friends are coming over, and this one happens to be a ghost person.
Wait, so those weren't experts?
No,
I thought those were the ghost mediums.
I think it was like his college friends or something, because they're making comments of like, ooh, your sister's so hot. You never mentioned that before.
Yeah, that was really fucking weird to do that. Like, make those kinds of comments, and then his girlfriend's sitting right there as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, you missed a very awkward
Yeah.
scene. You probably thought, oh, they're probably talking about ghost shit. No, that whole scene was them being like, your sister's hot. I can see why you haven't had a girlfriend because you come home to your sister every
Which is
day.
fucking weird to say.
Yeah.
And gross.
I thought the guy with the awesome hair was like the girl's handler, kind of like she was a Zelda Rubinstein from Poltergeist.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like the guy that booked everything, and he was like, I'll bring her over for 45 minutes. We can pencil you in. And then like the other two were just in there.
No.
But there was that third girl,
Yeah.
and I was like, who is this?
He was basically saying, yo, your sister's hot. Hey, let's go bang right now. What do you think about that? You want to go? You DTF? And everyone's
girl?
just like,
The one with
ha,
the-
ha,
in the
ha, ha,
wheelchair?
ha. Yeah, yeah. And everyone's just like, ha, 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 ha.
And then they look at the friend and is like, hey, what's the matter with you? And she's like, I feel uncomfortable. I forgot to mention this, but I am very in tune with the supernatural. And there's something weird going on in this house right now.
I thought they were like, okay, well, we've chit-chatted enough. Now it's time to get down to business. Let's walk around the house and see what's going on. And then she comes back and then has a little freak out on the chair.
As John mentioned.
And then she's like, I have to go. The paranormal's too strong here.
Nope. Yeah, she's just like, first when she's like, oh, I'm uncomfortable, I was like, girl, me too. But she was talking about something completely different.
I thought it was like the guy in the first one who's all like, I have to leave here, but you have to stay. I thought it was one of those situations.
It's exactly that, only not quite like you thought.
Yeah, just worse.
Way creepier.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, come here, I got something to show you. So they all go upstairs and he shows the video of the salt to him again. And we're like, oh, we get to watch this again?
That's when they rewind it like 15 times.
I must have not noticed they were watching the video.
Yeah, they were watching the video of the salt, and then she's like, I gotta leave. Goodbye. And they like run out. And that's the last time we see them.
Doesn't she do a lot of screaming or something?
First she has an epileptic fit on the couch.
Yeah.
Like she's foaming at the mouth and freaking out. And then like...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then they pick her up and they run out the house.
Yeah. Well, she stands up, grabs her purse, and starts to leave. And everyone else is like, I guess we gotta go.
And then she like bows 15 times as she's leaving and then runs out.
And then we never see...
As tradition dictates.
Of course, yeah.
We never see them or hear about them or speak of them ever again. They left the house and the movie.
I did. I have a note here, and I want to point it out. I did like the fact, and I don't know if this is just because of the way Japanese furniture and stuff is set up, or the sizes of their furniture, but like the cameras had a lot of low angles when they were like not doing the filming of like the ghost stuff and stuff like that. There was a lot of like kind of like knee-high camera shots, and I thought that looked really cool. It really made you feel kind of like powerless at a lot of times, where like I felt like, at least from a visual perspective, I was like, I'm not supposed to be this low. Like I'm supposed to be higher with these people. Like I feel like we're all kind of low and hunkered down. It kind of made this like uneasy feeling of just kind of like, oh man, yeah, we're on edge here.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of cool, at least from my viewing experience.
A lot of table shots, right? They set the table down on, or the camera down on the table while they're eating, so it is going to be a little bit lower than their heads, but you're right. Yeah, we're used to seeing eye level.
Yeah, like
about.
Yeah.
So Kiyoshi decides he's going to go on the old Googles. I forget exactly what the search engine was called, but it wasn't like a real one.
Whatever. Like
it was like GO or GS or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
GeoCities.
And he starts looking up ways to purify the house. So I assume what you thought was the weird guy that... what did you think that priest was?
Oh, I thought... okay, at first I thought that was a guy coming to sell him stuff.
Door-to-door purification.
I thought it was like a door-to-door salesman at first, and I was like, oh, I don't know what this guy's doing now. So that one I was completely lost on.
Yeah, he Googles up how to purify a house, and he gets a phone number, and he sets an appointment for this guy in a very elaborate robe and hat to come over and wave a stick with some tassels on it that looks like a broom.
Yeah.
And,
it's probably
and chant.
sage. Yeah, like to burn sage in the situation.
So that's what that whole scene was. They were trying to purify the house of ghosts.
Yeah, no, I got it like halfway through. I was like, oh, this guy's got to be like doing some kind of ceremony. But I thought it was like one of those like you act now and I can give you one of these. But I didn't know how. I was just like, I don't know what's going on.
And this movie had time to show us this ritual pretty much, I assume, in real time, because it scene took forever.
It
I was
did
like,
take
is
a
this
long time.
still happening? Like, can I just fast forward through some of this? Because nothing happens. You just see this guy's back, standing in front of the camera, blocking the view of your main characters. A lot of chanting and praying. But
he was very adamant that his little ceremony had worked and that they were free of ghosts.
It's true.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he specifically said, yeah, you're good. You can be at peace. Ghost is gone. You're cool.
That's pretty cool.
No money back guarantee or anything, but I'm pretty confident.
He believes in his work.
He does, yeah.
So that priest dies immediately after that. Did you catch that, Garrett?
No, I did not catch that.
He has a heart attack immediately after that ceremony happens. And you find this out later by what? Via phone call?
Yeah.
Phone call, yeah.
Right, because a few days go by and it seemingly worked. They're like, okay, cool. In day 5, I think that's when the doors are locked and he can't get in and she starts screaming her head off. And is that when she starts to get pulled under the bed by her hair?
Ugh.
I think the first thing is now it ratchets up and she gets touched. And she's like, I touched me.
That's right.
Yeah.
God, she would not shut up. Yeah.
Well, would you?
I mean, like a little brush on the arm, I think I'd calm down after a good one scream.
Nope, not me.
She's just laying into it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, girl, stop it.
Well, I think maybe like they were like, okay, Scream Queen is like an American horror thing. There's a lot of screaming. Scream your heart out. And that's like what they're trying to interpret, right? It's a reverse remake situation here where we're seeing our tropes through different eyes now. Where
this is what the Americans do.
Yeah.
Scream forever.
That's it.
Ooh, do you think the dude saw Mika's performance and was like, I got this? Do you think he based his performance off Mika, or do you think he went with his own original take on it?
I mean, he's way less douchey than Mika, but that might just be cultural because Mika is, I mean, a douche for every possible reason. So maybe he was like, I need to tone this down. I don't want everyone to hate me.
I don't know why you hate Mika so much.
Well, maybe rewatch the movie and you'll see, because it's very obvious.
I'm kidding.
So after she's touched by the ghost on the arm,
Yes.
just to clarify that, and he calls up and says, hey, I want a refund on the purification, or I guess he's trying to do something like that. And he's like, oh, sorry, he's been dead for 5 days. He's like, what? That was like when you came out. He's like, yeah, heart attack. Did him in. He's like, oh no. And then we get a random Chekhov's fish tank.
Yeah.
That just randomly showed up on the table.
It was not there in previous scenes.
No.
They had time during this whole situation to go out and buy a beta fish and like let's introduce an animal into this
And
environment.
it was a huge tank for one tiny fish and nothing in it.
I did pause it and go, like, did I miss this fish tank?
No.
Like, I thought I had missed the fish tank.
And it was like really prominent in several of the shots. I'm like, what is the prominence or what is the significance of this stupid fish tank? Like, why is this here?
Literally to shatter later. That's the only reason it's on the table.
We don't have enough glass here. Get a fish tank.
So they start freaking out and they call the dad and they're like, look, we really need you to come home. There's something weird going on. He's like, all right, I'll be home tomorrow night. He shows up, nothing happens, and they're like, I don't know what to tell you, Pops. And he's like, all right, I'm going back to work. And he leaves, supposedly, without saying goodbye. And they're like, okay, I guess he just went back to work.
They were like, that's our dad, real dick. Moving on.
Yeah. And this is about the time that the sister starts revealing some weird stuff about, like, sometimes I don't feel like myself. Sometimes I see myself doing things that I wouldn't normally do. And it seemed to have happened while I was in America, right? And it's kind of giving you the information that,
like she's driving at 2 a.m. for no reason.
yeah. And then she's Googling about Katie. And this is, we finally see the connection to part 1 where she's like, there was a girl in America named Katie who murdered her fiance and stole her sister's baby and all this stuff.
But she's Googling her because that's the girl she hit, but we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
Did she know who she hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she had to have known. She Googled her.
Yeah.
I know, but I wonder about that story.
Well, she didn't know, like, I don't think she knew, like, oh, I hit a demon-possessed crazy woman. She knew, like, oh, I hit someone who was running out of their house after murdering their boyfriend.
Also, I don't think if you hit someone, it's going to crush your car enough to break your legs.
That's what I was thinking too. Like that's
They said it lightly fractured.
both legs.
Yeah, both legs.
I don't think that's how fractures work.
As someone who's been knocked by a car at a stop sign on my bike, I can tell you the person inside's fine.
Yeah, I would love to know how the car, like,
Unless she was
crumpled-
going like 60 down this like suburban neighborhood.
It also managed to break her legs knee down, which is like where you're on your gas pedal. I don't understand how the damage happened.
Maybe it pushed the dash in and it hit her right below the knee. Or
To be fair, she's Asian, so she is a bad driver.
whoa!
What more?
Stating facts here.
What other racisms can we put in this episode? You know what? I know exactly how it happened.
Do tell.
The writer said, I want to see a wheelchair move across the screen. And they said, how are we going to do that? Break one of the characters' legs. So they did. And that's as much thought as it went into it.
Well, then they're
They're
like, wait,
just real big fans of Tanya Harding.
what if we break both legs? And they're like, even better. That's
Why
twice as
not?
good. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We'll double the stakes. So, okay, wait. Oh, God. Okay. So the dad leaves.
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay. And at this point, I'll be honest, like my brain was kind of glossing over on so much, unless it was like a ghost thing happening. I was like, some shit's going down. Okay.
Well, here's my issue
So
with
like,
this.
but hold on. So she goes to America. How long, did we know how long she was there? Did they say that?
It's an exchange student, I imagine, a couple
a
months.
semester at least.
Okay, a semester. Okay, I thought it was like she's on vacation. You don't hit someone then go back home like 3 days later. That's like a whole police investigation.
No, it
That's
was a student type thing.
Yeah. Plus, I
Okay,
think knowing that they did know that Katie had killed people, right? So they were probably like, okay, we know what happened here. She murdered those people.
How is that not part of the narrative though? Like this psycho killer ran out of her house and got instantly killed by an Asian driver. You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, how's
well,
this
it
not
is.
like?
She talks about it nonstop in the movie.
Well, she does, but I'm saying like as part of like the other American versions.
Oh,
Like how
because
does-
they pretend this movie does not exist.
Also, is that an alternate ending that they actually took, or is that just like something they made up for
They
this
just
movie?
totally made that up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, my biggest issue with this info dump this late in the game is like sister should have been up front at the salt pile with this, like, oh, by the way, sometimes I don't feel like myself. I'm being fucking haunted.
No.
So you think that Micah is the worst person in the world? It's this girl. She knew that this shit was happening, and she brought it back home.
Oh,
no,
I would
the
say,
Japanese girl.
I would say Katie also, because Katie also fesses up like 3/4 of the movie. Like, oh, I've always had this demon fuck with me my whole life. And it's like, you are married. You should have at least dropped this on you at least once.
They were engaged to be engaged.
Okay, well, whatever, okay?
You don't demon dump until after you put a ring on
I
it.
thought this brother and sister were married, okay? I got no concept of relationships here.
This is like first date information that you tell up front. This is not you wait however long.
By the way, I've got a kid. You're like, no, this falls along the line of that. You own up to this.
And this movie is falling into what I call the bad writing formula of we're going to reveal the information to the audience when it's prudent. Not to where it would make sense in the characters' actual lives. Because this was a real situation. I'm sure Haruka would have said after the salt, like, oh, by the way.
I thought you said situation.
The first thing I said when I walk in that door, hey, brother, I'm fucking haunted.
Yeah, I know.
Like, all right, well, take your haunted ass to a hotel.
Exactly.
How was your trip to America? It was good. I got possessed. You know, I mean, like, I would lead with this. I'm like, you guys are never going to. We have had a doozy of a day. Okay. Like,
but you need to info dump this right before the third act, right? To really ratchet it up at
because
the end.
honestly, I would love that for a character to be like, did you see that glass just shatter? Do you think this is your fucking demon? Like, have that like, yo, should we be concerned about this thing? And it's like, well, it's never been a problem before. I've never seen it do anything. I don't know if it's truly a demon. Like, okay. And then it's like, have like the brother have to turn on her and be like, I think you're the problem. And then she'd be like, well, you're not going to kill me because I'm your sister. And he's like, I know, we got to figure this thing out. He's like, I'm just saying that would make it much more, I could relate to some characters at that point instead of basically being there, my hands up. I was hitting my hands up in the air anyway on this one.
Yeah,
but,
you can relate to any of these.
I'm just saying, like, that would have been a better premise.
She just kept playing dumb about it. I don't know what the problem could be.
I feel like if you had been able to read the dialogue, when she was like, I'm haunted, you won't kill me, he would have been like, bet. Because they were not a very close brother and sister.
Okay.
He saw this more.
Well, they weren't a very close couple either, okay, according to my viewing.
So to get us into the final act / scene, whatever, it takes quite a while to wrap up, it felt like. But he starts researching Satanism and demonology on his computer, and he finds a random wooden cross somewhere. And while his sister's like passed out on the bed, he goes and puts the cross in her hand. And then she's like, I would really like some juice. Or whatever drink.
Say that? I'd like
something like that, yeah.
So he's like, cool, I'll go get the juice. And he like wanders off, and then the cross falls out of her hand and starts moving around on the floor and then sets on fire.
Yeah. This is like the Ouija scene of the movie.
Yeah.
But also, though, they could not pass up breaking a picture frame earlier in the film
Christ.
right over the
That was so
sitting on his bed.
That was so throwaway, it felt like, in the grand scheme of this movie. It's like, who cares?
It was just like, they did this in 1, we need to do it in 2.
Yeah.
The demon loves to break.
That's effective, actually. I like that scene. I mean, granted, the build up to that scene was just slow, but
Then he was like, look at my picture. What? And she's like, yeah, I don't know. That's weird. To your point, Joyce, you should have been like, probably because I'm haunted.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I have no idea how that could happen.
I would just love an accusatory like member of be like, is this because of your demon? Like
What your fucking demon did to me.
look at my face is scratched out. It's either you or the demon, you know?
So the brother comes in, he finds the cross on the ground, a little scorched. He's like, oh man, bummer. And they go to bed.
Did he sound like Matthew McConaughey in your version?
Well,
All right.
the demon also is like, I fucking hate glass. I hate glass. I don't want to see any glass in this fucking house. And he breaks every piece of glass in this girl's room.
And shatters the fish tank.
Yes. Just like, fuck glass.
I was not thrilled about that.
Did not, though, break the CRT. He's like, I do want to be able to watch TV. But every other piece of glass.
Super Smash Brothers, man. They're not messing around with that.
He also did not break that nice stained glass skylight she had in her bedroom.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's very immaculate. You don't want to break that.
Maybe
It's
there's like a price threshold, right? It's like, you could break any glass under $50.
yeah, if it's
I
covered.
didn't pick up on it. It was just glass until you guys said it. I mean, it makes perfect sense now, but it was like, oh yeah, he was smashing all the glass.
He just went on a rampage.
So final night, sister stands up, and I think we hear some bones cracking in those legs as she's getting up. So that was kind of like, right?
Yeah.
Then she starts zombie walking around, like shuffling. And then,
That's my biggest problem with this movie.
really the shuffling.
Yes, her stupid fucking zombie walk. Why did they need to do this with her?
You're on the set of The Thriller from Michael Jackson.
When did this
Please
turn
do
into
your
The Walking
shuffle.
Dead?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right?
why would she have to shuffle anyway? Her shins are broken, essentially. Her knees still work. If she's going to be able to magically walk, she should be able to just walk.
See, I imagine it was like when she stood up, everything was cracking and stuff like that, and it fucked up her legs. So when she was walking, it was still like painful. So she was zombie shuffling to be like, this is a fucking pain in the ass, but I've got to do it.
But why is she dragging her arms behind her?
Yeah.
Her arms aren't broken.
Look, commit to the aesthetic.
It would have been way scarier or if she just was walking. Like she just stood up and started walking. I'd be like, damn, that's legit.
Dead ghost walking.
This was just weird and made me laugh.
I wanted to see her stand up, break her legs, and then she gets dragged with her feet dragging in through the room.
See, that would have been. She did fall down the first time she tried to stand up,
Yeah.
so that would have been a great opportunity.
See, I thought we were going to see her like get out of the wheelchair and then like on her arms do that thing where like straight arm like walking down. I'm doing the thing in the visual here. You guys can't see it on the podcast.
Are you seeing like the Reagan kind of shuffle?
Yeah,
Isn't that what the girl did in The Ring?
Yes.
She crawled out of
She
the...
crawled, but the thing is, I'm talking like, you know, like when you're a kid and you like go limp on your and you put your arms straight and you kind of like use them as like stilts and you kind of like walk yourself down the like floor like that. Something like that. I would have liked to have seen her like either have to walk away or get away from something, like dragging her ass around, or have her like weirdly like walk her way like on the ground into the brother's room. That would have been cool.
yeah. Or she flips upside down and handstands her way into the.
That would have been a little goofy.
More goofy than this stupid zombie walk that she
Or
does.
have her float over the ground by like an inch. You know, her legs don't work. Like she falls to the ground, like it instantly crumbles underneath her, and then she slowly looks like she's standing up, but then like she just raises up like an inch off the ground. That would have been fucking creepy. Like it looks like she's getting up, but no, she's actually like full possessed.
Literally anything would have been better than the direction they went in. So that's what we could take away here.
So again, we've got the split screen camera action going on. She's in her room and she's possessed now. Zombie walks out of her room and then we see her coming into her brother's room.
So she also zombie walks upstairs.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah,
Pretty
she
good.
does, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
because there's stairs everywhere in this house. It is like a M.C. Escher painting.
There's stairs to get to the toilet.
The sink's in the basement, by the way. So then we get our scene where she hovers over the brother's bed, just staring at him creepily. Not nearly as creepy as when it was originally done. I think it's just by design. You've done it already. It's not scary anymore. That kind of
Speak
thing.
for yourself.
Okay, that creep you out?
It still creeps me out.
Then she just goes back to her room and then starts screaming her head off again. Right?
The deed is done.
And then what happens from here?
Well, Paranormal Activity 1 happens. The brother rushes off into the distance and then gets thrown into the camera.
Well, first he has to struggle to get the door open.
Oh,
so
right.
he's like trying to rattle the doorknob, can't get it open, it's locked. But there's a big giant glass piece in the window. I mean, he could have
that's a good
crashed
point.
through that and gone to save his sister, but he didn't do that. So he fiddles with the doorknob for a little while longer, finally gets it open, and then he starts to run out, but he has to go back and grab his camera first, of course. And then he runs to the sister's room.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he's like, oh, this is a pull door. No wonder I was having trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Rule 1 of owning a camera, it must go with you wherever you go.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And he noticed that definitely happened when, like, in the very first time his sister's screaming her fucking heart out, he jumps out of bed, rolls over, grabs his camera, and then runs off. And it's like, do you really want to burden yourself with an over-the-shoulder camera when you have no idea what you're running into? This guy does.
Have they ever done sorry to sidetrack here, but have they ever done a movie where like someone's or a bunch of people are killed and then it's a found footage movie, but like everyone has cell phones and like all their data's been uploaded to the cloud, and so like someone's having to sift through all these random pieces of video and try to figure out what happened from everyone's different perspectives.
No,
as
but
it's
you just
happening.
made a movie.
Yeah. There's a
Okay.
good one.
Yeah, you can expect that to come out next year, I'm sure.
Fucking patent pending. If any of you, just like my other idea, if you guys take this shit, I'm coming for you.
Paranormal Activity, the cloud.
Yeah. Oh, there was that one we
On
watched.
Cloud 9.
Butterfly Kisses or whatever, right? Wasn't that about like cutting pieces together that they found from
That's
other
similar.
shit? So
Minus the cloud aspect.
But
Yeah,
I'm
no
saying,
cloud,
Like,
yeah.
let's say there's a group of like 10 people in the same like condo or
Yeah.
apartment, whatever, and everyone's on their phone filming. Because, you know, like when shit starts going down, people break out their cell phones. So everyone's got their own phone and they're filming like their perspective of it. Like you run up on people who got their phones out. And
Yeah.
it's like, but then like maybe someone goes off or someone sees something in their room and it's like someone just finds all this data and has to kind of figure out the timeline or what happened and where was this room in, and
Yeah.
like that would be a dope ass
that would be
idea.
cool. There was in the mid 2000s when they were doing all those social media horrors. It was like Unfriended or something where it was based on like Skype calls. That was
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Okay. It may be a completely unoriginal idea, but I was just
No, I
thinking about
don't think
that.
anything exactly like that's been done. That would be cool.
Cool. I should write that.
GraveTalk Productions.
Their first
Ooh,
one.
the GraveTalk presents A Piece of Garbage by Garrett. Actually, that'd be some fucking scary shit because I put all that stuff that fucks me up in that movie.
There you go.
Oh.
And you go right on Amazon and I'd watch it by mistake.
I've made it.
Would it be called The Exorcism of Garrett?
As long as the word exorcism or demons in there, I'm just compelled to watch it like a fucking moth to light. What's that?
t-shirt is just John. It's basically like going to like a glowing cross.
No, I want John's head photoshopped on a moth body.
The description of this movie is going to be like some ghost shit happens, and John will watch it.
Half star, good enough.
I'm in. Well, Joyce, why don't you wrap up this movie for us?
Okay, so he gets thrown into the camera. He's laying on the ground, and we think he's dead, but he's not. So he starts twitching around a little bit, and then the sister, she is somehow on the ground behind him, and she kind of like raises up slowly, so you can see her come up like from behind him in the camera, and her eyes just look at the camera, and then his eyes open, so he's not dead. And then
kind of real Ringu, Ring
very,
style.
very. And then so something happens, and he ends up running out of the house.
Gets hit by an American. It takes the demon back with it.
So
I wish.
That would be awesome.
He runs out of the house, and he's standing on a street. It's, in the middle of the night, pure darkness. He runs down the street, comes across a cab. I don't know why there's a cab rolling down the street in the middle of the night.
So weird, because the cab also like opens the door without even stopping.
Yes, yeah.
It's because director told him to.
I was like, how do cabs work in Japan? Like, jump in, like.
Maybe the doors can just, open by
They're
themselves
very
in Japan.
presumptuous.
Whenever you put the brakes on, the doors auto open. I don't know if you know how cars work in Japan.
Yeah, just push you out. Like, all right, here's your stop.
Part of the autonomous car service.
Yeah.
Right.
So he jumps into the cab, and then so the cab driver takes off. He says, "Where to?" And he says, "I don't know, just anywhere, just
Yo,
go."
home's to Bel Air.
Exactly. Yeah. So he drives down starts to drive down the street, and then sister comes walking into the street from the sidewalk, and she looks at them. Cab driver slams into her, and then the car kind of like veers off and slams into a light pole, and then. We think
the second time she's been hit.
Yeah, that's the second time, yeah. And then so
Really
we think brother's dead at this point.
He broke both of his legs.
So the next scene is they're in some like weird kind of morgue setup. So there's a body laying on a table with a sheet over its head, but there's also another little table set up in the corner, and it has like candles and looks like a little food offering or something. Very, very weird. Maybe a culture thing. I don't know. So anyway, the brother then walks in, and he pulls the sheet off of the body, presumably, I guess, to see his dead sister. But no, it's the cab driver's body.
Yeah, twist.
Dun dun dun.
And then from the side of the screen, right, the sister comes into frame, right? And does she kill him right there?
She drags him off screen, and then that's the end.
Yeah.
The end. Well, we did forget one thing.
How do you get in the morgue?
Walked in.
Does it have an open door policy?
Well, no, people brought him in. I think.
Yeah,
I think.
you need to assume that the cop showed up to the crime scene, took
Yeah.
the sister's body to the morgue. They brought him in to identify the body.
Yeah.
And nope, it was the taxi guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we see two people let him into the morgue. You didn't just like, wander in there.
Right on.
One thing we missed is whenever he gets thrown into the camera, there is a scene where he goes downstairs and sees a foot. He opens it up, and his dad has been dead in the cupboard for several days.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and did
So
not smell somehow.
That's what I was going to say. How did you not smell the dead body? Right.
Maybe their whole house just smells like dead body, and they were like,
Well, decomp doesn't happen that quick, I don't think. I think it takes
you'd
a little bit
smell
longer.
within a couple of days. Like you'd
You
smell
evacuate
something.
your bowels and shit like that, but I mean, like, I don't know if decomp starts that soon.
Maybe every day the sister was just Febreze, and I'm like, today's not the day.
I mean, there's multiple floors, so I think he was like at least 2 or 3 levels down, and they spent all their time up in their bedrooms.
He was in the sub basement.
Yes.
We didn't even
we don't even use floor 4 through 7, okay?
Another thing we forgot, and I'm only going to bring it up because it's another case where they just remade the first one, is the sister gets bit. There's a
Yes.
scene where she gets
bit.
screams, and and the demon bites her on the arm, and she's outside and like all in a daze, just exactly like what happened to Katie, where she's outside in a daze. So of course they had to copy that pretty much word for word.
It felt weird to see them go outside after being inside this, like, palatial mansion for so long. It was just like, hey, why do you even have to? But then when they did, it was kind of jarring to me. I was like, oh, okay, we're not inside anymore. That's
The world
crazy.
exists out here.
Yeah, it felt very isolated though. Like,
Yeah.
it felt like, like this, they existed in this house.
Which would have made more sense if this movie wasn't called Tokyo Nights, and Tokyo isn't like one of the biggest cities in the whole world. If they had just put this out like in an isolated city, I'd be like, oh yeah, no wonder you're the only person on the street, and no visitors, and
Yeah.
I like the idea of it being in Tokyo, but I would have liked to have seen it maybe being haunted over a course of like an apartment complex.
yeah.
Fucking with multiple people.
Also, this movie is in Tokyo less than Jason Takes Manhattan is in Manhattan. You don't really see anything except one street, the outside of like that's like their front yard and their house.
You show me the information that says that this was filmed in Vancouver, and I'll agree with you, okay? According to Mike Stevens, professor of philosophy at College Mont St. Louis, it says body decomposition has a lot of factors: temperature, humidity, age, and gender. On an average, his estimate would be 24 to 36 hours, although it could be as few as 8 to 12. So 2 to 3 days.
I'm glad that you Googled that for the rest of us, so the FBI's got that on record. How long does a body take to decompose?
I thought he was going to give us some information about the movie, and I was all like, "Oh, this would be cool."
There is next to no information on this movie.
What does this doctor of philosophy think about this movie?
By the way, I don't believe that the decomposition scene in the Paranormal Tokyo Night was accurate.
Did you guys read the IMDb trivia on this movie?
I didn't even look.
The single entry that says this is a what do they call it? A
Sidequel?
sidequel, which basically means that it's a movie that takes place in the normal universe, but it's a side story that has nothing to do with the main plot line. That's the only piece of trivia on this movie.
Well, would you guys recommend anybody go try to find this?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Whoa! Out the gate, our paranormal expert saying pass.
Thumbs down.
Is it better or worse than the marked ones?
I didn't see the marked ones, but I'm
How
gonna
can you be an expert?
because that's also a sidequel that has absolutely nothing to do with the storyline.
The expert move is to not watch the marked one.
Good point. Okay.
How can you be an
I
expert if
accept
you don't
that.
eat your pudding?
I mean, I don't know. I'd go absolutely not if you just happen to have it for some reason, I guess.
A really large
Yeah.
quote unquote happens to happen.
But if you really want to see it, just watch the first one again and you're good.
I don't think based on the effort to get this, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
If it was like on a streaming service, meh, whatever. You got some
Right.
time to burn, sure. But it's not, like you said, original really at all, other than the double camera split screen.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, I live with someone who watches lots of anime and I guess has picked up some Japanese along the way. And he says that the words that were spoken do not always match up with the subtitles.
That's actually pretty common. That happens like in a lot of like Japanese translation. I watch a lot of anime myself, and it's always just like, that's not what that means.
Yeah.
We're beholden to fans for translations, right? So, this wasn't an official
Are you?
translation.
This is a fan sub?
Yeah.
Did we kick this back to fan sub
really?
days?
Yeah.
With my Akira copy that was written by a bunch of dudes who typed that shit out and looked like they held it in front of the camera.
I noticed that because at one point he says the same word 3 times, and the first 2 times it's translated one way. Yeah.
Yes.
It says sister, and then it starts saying Haruka,
Her
Haruka,
name,
Haruka,
yeah.
but he's still saying sister.
I
Yeah,
was like, all right, well, I'm just going to have to go with
yeah.
whatever.
You're right. I trust that the gist was given to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have enough of the story. All right. Well, I would not recommend it either, Garrett.
It's hard to say. It's hard to. I'd recommend it as a thought experiment if you watch it without the subtitles, because I really put a lot of mental effort into this movie. I feel like I worked with this movie, not against it, because before, like in movies you watch, it's like, well, that's dumb. Why is that sister there? Who's this asshole? Oh my God, of course you're a priest. Oh, get out of here with your stupid little rhyming, like, leprechaun words. But the thing is...
Whoa.
In this movie, I was all like, they have a very interesting marriage. Like, who is this gentleman? Is that the landlord? He's very polite with him. He comes in their house. Wow, these ghost hunters are very polite. They sit down and talk with you, and then like she freaks out and then leaves. I was like, I was enthralled with this movie and how it played out. Not because of what I was watching, but because I was really like investing myself into the minds of these people, the lifestyles of these people. And I was wrong about everything.
I think what you're saying is you would recommend this without the subtitles and create your own headcanon story as it goes along.
Well, not anymore. Now that you listen to the podcast, you're going to lose that. But I would recommend this. I recommend you watch foreign films without subtitles and give it a shot.
All right, so 3 no's and 1, just make your own movie.
All right. Well, unless you guys have anything else to say on this.
Nope.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. You can find more of our content at gravetalk.com. Hit us up on the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Have you guys seen this movie? We'd love to know what your opinion is. See you next time.